ॐ ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगण ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमः प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So in the first chapter of the Bhagavatam, right, we saw that the sages are sitting at Naimisharanya, right? They've got Suta Goswami as their head. Shaunak Rishi, on behalf of all the other 88,000 Rishis, have asked Suta Goswami some questions, right? The questions are, the first one, anyone? What is the first question?
What is the ultimate for people in general?
करेक्ट। सो वो एक चीज क्या है जिससे मेरे जीवन का उद्धार हो जाएगा, है ना? व्हाट इज दैट? एक चीज बस मुझे करनी है और वो एक चीज करके मेरे लाइफ का उद्धार हो जाएगा। व्हाट इज दैट? सेकंड क्वेश्चन,
What is the sense of all scriptures?
सब स्क्रिप्चर्स, सब वेद, सब उपनिषद, सब पुराण, इन सब का सार क्या है, राइट? सो व्हाट इज द एसेंस ऑफ ऑल द स्क्रिप्चर्स? थर्ड,
Why did Lord Krishna appear as son of Vasudeva and Devaki?
वेरी नाइस, है ना भाई? वो कृष्ण बन के आए, वसुदेव एंड देवकी के बच्चे बन के आए, वाई, राइट? फोर्थ क्वेश्चन,
About their leelas in detail.
that's the fifth one. First, tell us what are the different incarnations, है ना? भगवान ने क्या क्या incarnations लिए, उनके बारे में बताओ. फिफ्थ इज, उनके बारे में बस नाम मत बताना. Tell us in detail. Talk to us about the leelas in detail. And finally, what is the sixth one?
Now Krishna has gone back, so where Dharma will take shelter.
Excellent, excellent. When Krishna decided to wind up his leelas here and go back, then where did Dharma find shelter? Okay, with that we moved to chapter 2. Chapter 2, we saw Suta Goswami is called Ugrashrava, somebody who has heard a lot with a lot of attention. And we should all try and be in our own little ways Ugrashrava, right? Listen to a lot and hold on to it tight. So Ugrashrava is very, very happy with the perfect questions of the Brahmins, right? Please note that these are called perfect questions. Why? because these questions are concerning the Supreme Lord. These questions are asked because we are trying to find peace for our Atmas, and that is why these are called perfect questions. So Suta Goswami says, thank you so much for asking me these perfect questions. And he says, now I will try to respond. Okay. The first thing he does when he has to respond is he thinks of the person from whom he heard the Bhagavad, which is who? Shukdev Goswami. Right? And he says, this Shukdev Goswami, he was so pure that he did not need any rituals. He did not need to undergo the thread ceremony. He did not need to undergo any other ceremonies. He was absolutely pure. Right? So that's the first quality of Shukdev Goswami. He was absolutely pure. 2, he says, he was so powerful when he spoke because he was so pure. Everything he spoke was so powerful that वो जो भी बोलते थे वो इंसान के दिल को छू जाता था. Right? It entered the hearts of every person. Sarvabhuta Rudayam. Right? Everybody felt ki, oh my God, at the core of my heart, I am understanding and experiencing whatever Shukdev Goswami is speaking. Right? And third, right? Jitna bhi jad cheez ho. Right? Anything that has very, very low consciousness, if that also comes in touch with Shukdev Goswami, it becomes very, very conscious. It becomes Chetan. So it's a very reassuring statement for us that when we come in touch with Shukdev Goswami, which means this Bhagavatam, right? This Bhagavat is nothing but Shukdev Goswami. When we come in touch with the Bhagavat, when we start studying the Bhagavat, our consciousness will most definitely get cleansed. Right? Then, of course, we tried to chant the third verse, and I told you that it was a prayer to Shukdev Goswami. Correct? Let's see that third verse today properly. Please repeat after me. Ya svanubhavam akhila shruti saramekam adhyatma deepam atitirishatam तमो अंधम संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराण गुह्यं तं व्याससूनम् उपयामि गुरुं मुनीनाम्. Okay, now we won't read the translation. We'll go into understanding this verse. Okay, it's a very beautiful verse because our dharma, Sanatan Dharma, never tells us to follow anybody blindly. Okay, remember even what the Bhagavad Gita says about a guru, that when you think that somebody is worthy of becoming your guru, don't just go and accept him. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. Please approach the person, ask him all your questions. Right? Please make sure that this is the person that I want to learn from. Is he really good? Does he have what it takes to become my guru? Right? So here in this verse, Suta Goswami is explaining to us why Shukdev Goswami is worthy of becoming a guru. He's not saying that I accepted him as a guru, so all of you must accept him as a guru. No, he's explaining to us what are the qualities of Shukdev Goswami that make him worthy of becoming a guru. Right? So in the previous verse, he's already told us he was very, very pure. He entered our hearts directly. He was able to raise our consciousness. Why was he able to do all of that? First line. Yah swa anubhavam. Swa anubhav. Shukdev Goswami, okay, उन्होंने personally अनुभव किया था. He had personally had first-hand experience. Remember, Shukdev Goswami was going away to the forest. Vyasadev gave some people some verses. They went, they sang those verses. Shukdev Goswami was very, very intrigued, and so he came back. Right? When he came back, he diligently studied under the guidance of his father. Right? His father was Vyasdev. So when Shukdev Goswami studied, he did not just study theory. He incorporated all the teachings, right? And therefore Shukdev Goswami became a self-realized soul. He experienced the truth of the Supreme Lord directly. So his words are not words that he just heard from his father or words that he learned from a book. No. These words he realized in his heart through divine experience. And only then he spoke the Bhagavad Katha to Parikshit Maharaj. Right? So Shukdev Goswami personally had the experience of Satchit Ananda. He was completely self-realized. So yaha swa anubhavam. Right? He was personally experienced. Then, next part. Akhila Shruti Saram Ekam. He had taken the sar. He had understood the sar, the essence from all the scriptures. Akhila Shruti. Right? All scriptures. He studied the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Puranas, all of it. And he understood that the core, the spirit, the essence is the Bhagavad. Right? The Bhagavad that he spoke is the essence of all Vedic knowledge. So, यह स्व अनुभवम अखिल श्रुति सारमेकम, पूरा सार लेके एक उन्होंने बात किया द श्रीमद् भागवतम. Then next line, अध्यात्म दीपम. Very important, highlight this. If the other words are hard, this is easy. Adhyatma Deepam. The Bhagavad that Shukdev Goswami spoke, it is a deep. It is a lamp. It is a spiritual lamp. This Bhagavad that we are studying is a spiritual diya that removes the darkness of ignorance. अंधेरा होता है, हम लोग एक दिया चलाते हैं, क्या हो जाता है? उजाला हो जाता है. Right? So whenever there is a sincere seeker and he is very confused, right? वो खिंचते रहता है, यार material life क्या है, spiritual life क्या है? At that time, this Bhagavad lights the Adhyatma Deepam and it removes the confusion of material life. Atitari Shatam. Atitari Shatam is people who really sincerely want to know कि भाई what is this world all about. People who sincerely want to cross over this material ocean. Right? तमो अंधम. हम सब तमोगुण में फंसे हुए हैं, अंधकार में फंसे हुए हैं. Right? So for those of us who want to cross over this dark ocean of material existence, this Bhagavad is like a boat. This Bhagavad is like a light. Right? The material world is full of tamogun, full of darkness, tamo andham. And we're all stuck here in this dark rat hole, full of anger, full of greed, full of envy, pointless desires. Right? If we want to sincerely cross this Bhavsagar, then the Bhagavad will show us the way. Right? Adhyatma Deepam Atitari Shatam Tamo Andham. Samsarinam Karunaya. Look at the third line. Samsarinam Karunaya. Why did Shukdev Goswami speak the Bhagavad? वो खुद तो liberated थे. He was self-realized. So he might as well have just established his relationship with God and sat. Why did he bother to go through the trouble of sitting and explaining the whole Bhagavad? Because he felt karuna. He did not speak for his own benefit. He was liberated. But out of karuna, out of pure compassion for suffering souls, for you and for me in this material world, in this samsar, right? He saw कि यार इस संसार में जो फंसे हुए हैं, ये तमो और अंधकार में फंसे हुए हैं. So he came down, he came out of his spiritual absorption to come and deliver this message to us because he felt a lot of compassion for us. Right? So samsarinam karunaya. Please remember, when spirituality enters our life, it only enters because kahin se to God has delivered mercy to us. God has delivered compassion to us. Right? And because of that compassion, he spoke Purana Guhyam. Wo Puran, Bhagwat Puran, which is otherwise very confidential. किसी के भी नसीब में ऐसी भागवत सुनना नहीं आता है. Unless you're supremely fortunate, we don't get to listen to the Bhagavad. Right? We don't get to understand. Purana Guhyam. This Puran reveals the highest secrets. It talks about pure devotional service. It talks about loving relationship between the Jivatma and that Paramatma. Right? So it's a very, very secretive scripture that we understand only through mercy. And Shukdev Goswami came to give us that mercy. Tam Vyasa Sunam. So Suta Goswami is telling us that Shukdev Goswami is Vyas ke bacche. Tam Vyasa Sunam. He is the son of Vyasdev. Upayami. I do namaskar to him. Okay, Upayami Gurum Muninam. He is the guru of many, many, many famous, well-known, well-studied munis. Okay, this Shukdev Goswami, when he was speaking the Bhagavad to Parikshit Maharaj, several sages from all across the three worlds gathered on the banks of the Ganga. Even Narad Muni was there, and Vyasdev himself sat down in the audience to listen from Shukdev Goswami. Okay? So, we offer our respectful obeisances to that Shukdev Goswami because he is the guru of even the greatest sages. He and he alone can reveal the essence of the Bhagavad Puran. Okay? So simply put, what this verse is trying to say is that because Shukdev Goswami felt compassion for us who are now entering Kali Yuga, right? At that time, Kali Yuga was just starting, right? Parikshit Maharaj ka kissa hai with Kali Yuga. So Shukdev Goswami realized that I need to provide a lamp, one Adhyatma Deepam, for all these poor creatures who are going to be born in Kali Yuga. So that son of Vyasdev, he spoke the Bhagavad. Simple. So he is the guru of several munis. He has utmost compassion and he has studied all the scriptures. Simple. So all of us should be very, very grateful to Shukdev Goswami because if he had not spoken Bhagavad to Parikshit Maharaj and if Suta Goswami was not present in that audience, then all of this would never have reached us. Okay? So, man se unka shukriya ada karu. Now we'll move on to the next verse. The next verse is a prayer that we chant every week when we do our Bhagavad session. Okay? Now please repeat after me. Okay? I'd like all of you to join in. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet.
Before reciting this Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supreme most human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author.
Alright. So, this is a prayer. Now we all know some prayer or the other, correct? Before we recite a mantra, before we start reading a scripture, we all mention a few things, correct? We thank the sage, the guru, who wrote the mantra, right? Who wrote the scripture. है ना? We thank them. Then we do namaskar to the form of the Lord that we are praying to. Then we thank the Shakti behind the work, right? And we also explain why am I chanting this, right? This is all called a Mangala Charan. Let's take some example. Hanuman Chalisa sabko aata hai? Most of you know Hanuman Chalisa, right? How does Hanuman Chalisa start? Anybody?
कि गुरु चरण सरोज रज
बोलिए.
निज मन मुकुर सुधार वरुणो रघुबर विमल जस जो दायक फल चार
Perfect.
बुद्धिहीन तनु जान के ये सुमिरो पवन कुमार बल बुद्धि विद्या देहु मही हरहु कलेश विकार.
Perfect. इसके बाद वो 40 वर्सेस आते हैं. करेक्ट. पहले हम क्या करते हैं? मंगलाचरण. श्री गुरु चरण सरोज रज. मैं अपने गुरु के चरण की धूल लेती हूं, राइट? निज मन मुकरु सुधारी, ताकि वो धूल से मेरा मन जो है वो साफ कर लूं. करेक्ट. I take the dust from the lotus feet of my guru and I clean my heart. Then baranau raghubara bimala jasu. So then I say, first I offer namaskar to my guru. Then I say, now what am I going to speak about? Raghuvar ki kahaniyan. Right? I am going to talk about the glories of Ramachandra, Raghunath. Right? When I do this, जो दायकु, मुझे क्या मिलेगा? फल चार. क्या है वो चार फल?
धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष.
Say that again.
धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष.
Absolutely. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Perfect. So when I chant the Hanuman Chalisa, I do Jai to my Guru. Who is the Guru? ये कौन, किसने लिखा है हनुमान चालीसा?
Tulsidas.
Tulsidas wrote Hanuman Chalisa. Who is Tulsidas's Guru? Narahari Das. Right? They came in the Ramananda Acharya ke lineage mein. Right? So first Tulsidas offers his namaskar to Narahari Das. Right? And then he says, I'm going to talk about Ramchandra. And when I talk about Ramchandra, what is going to happen? जो भी चार फल है, धर्म अर्थ काम मोक्ष, ये सब मुझे मिलने वाला है. बुद्धिहीन तनु जानिके, मुझे बुद्धि नहीं है, इसीलिए I take this body to be everything. तनु जानिके सुमिरो पवन कुमार. Now I will do sumiran. I will meditate on Pavan Kumar, on Hanuman ji. And when I meditate on Hanuman ji, what will I get? Bala, Buddhi, Vidya. Bala, Buddhi, Vidya, Dehu Muhi, Haravu, Kalesh, Vikar. तो ये तीन तो मुझे मिल जाएगा. बल, बुद्धि एंड विद्या. एंड क्या निकल जाएगा? क्लेश और विकार. जो भी मेरे सफरिंग्स है, जो भी इम्प्योरिटीज है मेरे माइंड में, ये सब निकल जाएगा. And then, correct, right? So that is how we start the Hanuman Chalisa. तो हमने क्या किया? Invocation किया. See, we have to understand our prayers, right? Which is another very common prayer. Ram Raksha Stotra. Yeah? How does Ram Raksha Stotra start? No? Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. अस्य श्री राम रक्षा स्तोत्र मंत्रस्य बुध कौशिक ऋषि. है ना? आप पहले अपने ऋषि को नमस्कार करते हो. हु रोट इट? बुध कौशिक ऋषि. श्री सीता रामचंद्र देवता. हु इज द देवता दैट आई एम ट्राइंग टू प्लीज? सीता एंड रामचंद्र. अनुष्टुप छंदः सीता शक्ति श्रीमद् हनुमान कीलकम. राइट? श्री सीता रामचंद्र प्रीति अर्थे राम रक्षा स्तोत्र मंत्र जपे विनियोगः. देन वी से अथ ध्यानम. ये इन्वोकेशन करने के बाद मैं ध्यान करने बैठूंगी. सो फर्स्ट आई इन्वोक द लॉर्ड, आई थैंक माई गुरु, आई से कि अच्छा हु इज द शक्ति. Like that, every time we sit down to say a mantra. So when in ISKCON, when we sit down to chant the mantra, right? What is the pranam that we do? Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Right? We first do namaskar to the Pancha Tattva, to the Shad Goswamis, and to everybody else in Parampara, ultimately to my Guru Maharaj who gives me the mantra. Only then I can start. Correct? So you have to understand that अगर मुझे कुछ accomplish करना है तो I need to bow down. So in this work of Bhagavatam, Suta Goswami ne already he's done namaskar to Shukdev Goswami. Correct? We've done 2 verses of that. After that, in this verse, he is praying to Nar Narayan Rishi. Understand why Nar Narayan? Vyasdev sat down at Badrik Ashram and wrote Bhagavat. Okay? Badrik Ashram mein, who is the presiding deity? Nar Narayan Rishi. Right? Nar Narayan Rishi are the owners of Badrik Ashram. They are the presiding deities. उन्होंने उधर बैठ के तपस्या की है. Right? That place belongs to Nar Narayan. And therefore the presiding deities for Bhagavatam are Nar Narayan Rishi. Right? The subject matter of this Bhagavat is Krishna, Narottamam. Sab nar mein uttamam. Who is Krishna? Who gives the Shakti to write a scripture like this? Saraswati Devi. Right? That is why Saraswati Devi is invoked. And who is the Rishi that wrote the scripture? Vyasdev. Make sense? Right? That is why Narayanam Namaskritya. First I bow down to Lord Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the source of all wisdom. Right? Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam. Then I bow down to Nar and Narayan Rishis. Okay? Devim Saraswatim. So I do Jai to Saraswati Mata. Because only she can give wisdom, only she can give clarity, only she can give speech. आज अगर सूत गोस्वामी को बात करना है, he needs Vani. And Vani comes from Saraswati Devi. And then Vyasam. Vyasdev, because he compiled the Bhagavat. And why are we reciting the Bhagavat? Tata Jayam Udirayet. I want Jay. I want victory. I want victory over what? Over my ignorance, over all my sorrows, over all my misfortunes, over Tamo Andham. Right? I want to get victory over all the kleshas in my heart. So when I chant this prayer, I am able to get victory over everything that is negative inside of me. Tato Jaya Mudirayet. Right? So this verse teaches us humility. It teaches us how to prepare ourselves, how to get ready for study. This is called devotional preparation. कहीं बाहर जाना है, मूवी देखने जाना है तो अलग तैयार होते हो, शादी में जाना है अलग तैयार होते हो, डिनर पे जाना है अलग तरीके से तैयार होते हो. तो जब भागवत स्टडी करने बैठना है तो ऐसे तैयार होते हैं. प्रॉपर प्रेयर्स बोल के, डिवोशनल प्रेपरेशन करके, हाथ मुंह धो के, नमस्कार करके, with humility inside us, we should sit down to study our scriptures. Right? So we should keep in mind that before speaking or hearing any scripture, we should first bow down to the Supreme Lord, to the sages, to the goddess of knowledge, and to the person who compiled the scripture. Only then can we actually be able to incorporate that scripture in us. Clear? About so Vyasadev ने इतने सारे books लिखे थे, right? He had written the Purans, he had written the Ved, he had written Mahabharat, he wrote everything, but he was not feeling happy inside. He was feeling like यार कुछ तो है ना मुझसे रह गया है, right? He's imagine somebody who's written इतना ज़्यादा. Instead of in our world तो हम लोग इतना सा करते थे, and you know we keep patting our bags, oh I'm so great, मैंने इतना accomplish कर लिया. But he was not getting that sense of accomplishment at all. Okay? He kept feeling कि I'm so old now. Right? I'm going to die at any moment, but I'm still unhappy. There is some work that is incomplete. मुझसे कुछ तो रह गया है. Right? So he's sitting very morose. And when we sincerely think of our Guru appears. So his guru Narad Muni comes over there. And Narad Muni explains to him, I'll just tell you in brief, we will do that in the following chapters. Narad Muni tells him, Ki look Vyas, you've written everything, right? But when you've written all of this, what has happened is, you've been so concerned कि people need some instant result, right? So you've written कि अच्छा ये पूजा कर लो तुमको ये मिल जाएगा, ये पूजा कर लो तुमको ये मिल जाएगा. So you've written a lot about dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And उस सब में you've written about bhakti, but it has got lost. People are so manda buddhi that people will only think, acha, I have been told, recite this prayer, I will get this. Recite, do this havan, you will get this. People will not understand the essence behind it, which is bhakti. So in all the books that you've written, bhakti is not coming out very clear. तो एक काम करो, बैठो और भक्ति के बारे में एक बुक लिखो, where people are going to not get carried away by the other forms of I want this, I want that. That is why the second verse of this chapter tells us, dharma projhita kaitavo. जो भी कैतव धर्म है उसको निकालता है. कैतव धर्म means do this yajna, get this result. Do karwa chauth ka vrat and get a good husband, or give your husband a long life. These are all do something to get something, right? These are not selfless. So Narad Muni tells Vyasdev ki you will feel absolute bliss when you write something which says pure devotional service. And so Vyasdev sits down in meditation and he sees everything, and then he writes the Bhagavad, right? And he knows कि अब इतना सुंदर मैंने कुछ लिखा है, this needs to be popularized. And so he goes, grabs his son and says, there's no better person than you because you're the born self-realized. तो भाई आप इसको समझो और आप इसको जाके डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करो. Clear? Yeah? Okay. Any other questions before we move ahead? No? Okay. So all of you all know this prayer. It's a very simple prayer. If you don't know it, learn it. Write it on the first page of your Bhagavad. Okay? I personally believe in using pen, highlighter, ruler, whatever you want in your book. Because when the notes are there, you will study it. अगर कहीं और लिखा तो वो आप कभी खोलोगे नहीं. Right? So on the first page of your book, write a couple of prayers कि जब भी आप book खोलोगे, you will chant those prayers. Okay? Alright, verse number 5. Munaya sadhu prishtoham bhavadbhir lokamangalam yatkruta krishna samprashno yenatmasu prasiddhati. Okay, so Suta Goswami has finished offering all his prayers. Now he says, O Muni, Munaya sadhu prishtoham. O sadhus, you have asked excellent questions. Right? Please remember, asking the right question is the beginning of true wisdom. Okay? That is why I love it when Sonal asks these questions. These questions help us to understand, help us to gather knowledge, helps us become wise. Okay? And therefore our Vedic tradition always encourages us to ask good questions. Right? Asking the right question starts our journey in the right direction. Okay? So he says, excellent questions. Thank you very much. Why are these excellent questions? Bhavadbhir lokamangalam. Because your questions are not selfish. They are for lokamangalam. Sabka mangal karne ke liye. They are for the welfare of all living beings. Right? When saints inquire, right, that knowledge that comes out benefits the entire world. Yat krita Krishna samprashna. All your questions are concerning Krishna. Right? Krishna is the ultimate subject of all scriptures, and all your questions are about Krishna. So now, yenatma suprasiddhati. By discussing about Krishna, by hearing about Krishna, by remembering Krishna, our Atma is going to become very, very satisfied. When we discuss about politics, when we talk about power, wealth, fame, right? We get a lot of excitement, right? But it does not give us deep internal satisfaction. Only Krishna Katha talks about Krishna can make our Atma very, very happy. Right? So the questions about Krishna are most auspicious, most perfect. When we hear and speak about Krishna, it satisfies our soul. Okay? So we all should definitely invest time in spiritual discussion. When we talk about Krishna, we awaken the natural happiness of the soul. Right? And that is why the questions that these sadhus have asked are for the ultimate good of all people. Okay? And now we come to one of the core verses of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Right? 6 questions have been asked. Prayers have been said. Sutta Goswami has said excellent questions. Thank you, everybody. Now he begins to give the answers. Alright? Here is one verse that I expect each one of you to know by heart. Very simple verse. Please repeat after me. Verse number 6. So we're doing Canto 1, Chapter 2, verse number 6. Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasiddhati. Now remember the first question that was asked, right? What is that one thing that people should do for their ultimate good? Correct? जिससे मेरा उद्धार हो जाए, what is that one thing that I should do? So now listen to the verse. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. For all pumsam, for all human beings. Okay, remember this verse does not apply to animals, to trees, to non-living creatures. No, this verse is specifically for human beings. Okay, Savai pumsam paro dharmo. Now all of us have different dharmas, right? All of us have so many duties. Now for me, I'm a mom, so I have duties. I'm a wife, I have duties. I'm a daughter, I have those duties. I'm a daughter-in-law, I have those duties. I run a business, I have those duties, right? So I have several duties. Each of you here has several duties to perform, right? There are students, there are grahasthas, there are people in the age of vanaprastha. All of us, depending on which order of life we are in, which stage of life we are at, we all have different duties. But out of all those duties, what is my paro dharmo? My most important duty. Paro means sarvashrestha, my most important. Savai pumsam paro dharmo. My param dharma is to do yato bhaktir. My most important dharma is to do bhakti, devotion, devotional service. But devotion towards whom? So it says adhokshaje. Adhokshaja is a name of Krishna. It means he who has eyes everywhere. He who is beyond the material senses. He who cannot be understood by logic. He who can be understood only by devotional service. Vedeshu durlabham adurlabham atma bhaktav. Right? He who can be understood not by the Vedas but by bhakti. Right? So this adhokshaji. So my true highest dharma is to do bhakti towards this transcendental Lord. If I do that dharma, then all my other dharmas will get taken care of. Okay? And how should I do that dharma? Very important. Ahaituki. कोई हेतु नहीं रखना चाहिए. No objective behind devotional service. आज मैं भगवान का प्रसाद बनाऊंगी तो भगवान मुझे लाख रुपया देंगे. I cannot have an objective. I cannot have something that I'm asking God for in return. My bhakti has to be ahaituki, without any hetu, without asking for something in return. and my bhakti has to be apratihata, where there is no hata, where there is no break. कि अच्छा अभी है ना 16 सोमवार करूंगी, 16 सोमवार के बाद जो सोमवार आएगा मैं बहुत सारा खा लूंगी. It has a start and an end. That is not pure devotional service. 16 सोमवार because I'm asking for a good husband. चातुर्मास 4 months, उसके बाद क्या है ना, या फिर 5 श्रावण सोमवार, उसके बाद क्या, बाकी महीनों के सोमवार में क्या, राइट, या फिर 9 दुर्गा के 9 दिन, उसके बाद क्या, राइट. Anything that has a start and an end, I do with a purpose in mind. But something that I do continuously, I will take to chanting and I will chant until my last breath. Right? That is ahaituki apratihata. I will not stop at any time. Whether I'm in bed, whether I'm deceased, whether I'm miserable, I will chant. In fact, I will chant more at that time. Right? So, apratihata, something that does not come to an end. Ahaituki means I don't want anything in return. भगवान मुझे इतने कष्ट है तो मैं आपकी पूजा करूंगी, आप मेरा कष्ट का निवारण करो. That is relief from distress. So I'm asking for something in return. या फिर भगवान जी मैं आपका नाम लूंगी, आप मुझे मोक्ष दे दो. I'm asking for moksha. Right? None of that is pure bhakti. Pure bhakti is selfless love. I do it because I love you, period. It's like how a mother serves her child. Not because ये बड़ा होगा और फिर है ना मेरे पाँव दबाएगा, ये बड़ा होगा फिर है ना मुझे फॉरेन हॉलिडे पे ले जाएगा. No. We raise our children out of selfless love. Right? So, ahaituki apratihata. We should chant, we should read, we should listen continuously without any break. Right? So, true devotion should not be stopped in any place, in any situation, in any condition. Whether we are rich or poor, healthy or sick, young or old, bhakti has to continuously flow. Right? No desire for material enjoyment, and it should always be performed. Ahaituki apratihata. When we do that, yayatma suprasiddhati. Our atma will experience ultimate satisfaction. Our soul will experience what it is to be Satchit Ananda. Remember, the soul is a part of Krishna. And unless we connect with Him, we cannot give our soul ultimate lasting happiness. Bhakti kya karta hai? It awakens us. It awakens us to that ultimate peace and joy. Make sense? Right? तुकाराम महाराज है ना बोलते हैं कि सुख पाहता जवा पाड़े, दुख पर्वता एवढे. इस मटीरियल वर्ल्ड में सुख कितना है? एक जव के दाने जितना, ज्वार के दाने जितना है ना, इत्तू सा. वी ऑल नो व्हाट जवार इज, राइट? 1 दाना ऑफ जवार ना, उतना तो सुख है. और दुख कितना है? पर्वता एवढे, लाइक माउंटेन्स. In this material world, this is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Dukkha is like a big mountain and sukha is like a tiny grain of jowar. And still, what are we constantly trying to do? We're trying to convert our dukh into sukh. Not possible. Chhod do. Give up that fight. Understand that for real sukh, bhakti is the only solution. Bhakti is like a fire. It burns away all our rubbish desires. Most of our desires are absolute rubbish. Right? So bhakti will burn away our desires, our anger, our jealousy, and it will purify us. So essentially bhakti will burn away our anarthas. Right? Devotion hona kaise chahiye? Selfless, uninterrupted. Okay, so please remember, true religion is not about rules and regulations, It's not about rituals. It's not about ye karna hai, ye nahi karna. It is not kattar. True religion is actually loving service to God. No selfish motive, no taking a break. And when we do that, then our heart is filled with love and peace. When we do bhakti towards Lord, what is He? He is Rasaraj. Always remember, Krishna is Rasaraj. Only He can give us complete experience of rasa. Right? He is Rasaraj. So any ras that I want to experience, I can only get when I'm in touch with that Rasaraj. So when we read the Bhagavad Gita, if we are feeling happy, it's coming from that Rasaraj. If we are enjoying studying the Bhagavad, right? That enjoyment, that sukh is coming from that Rasaraj. Because only He can do yen atma suprasiddhati. Only He can make our atma feel completely happy. With that, Vangmay Mukut Shiromani, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Thank you all for joining. Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Sukham Bhavatu.